Hey guys, I hope you're all doing very well. Welcome back to another video. And yet again, Chelsea produced another disappointing display. Now, obviously, Chelsea have played Aston Villa, and the final score was Aston Villa 2, Chelsea 1. And it was a very disappointing performance, and it seems just like it's always the same old issues. It's every single time with Chelsea, whenever they go a goal up or they try and take control of the game for some periods of the game, all looks good. But then all of a sudden, whether it's the second half or any sort of period of play where the opposition get back into the game is taken away from us. I don't know how many times this has happened. It always seems to happen every single time. Now, obviously, it's a little bit of a stark contrast with the Brighton game. I mean, the Brighton game, Chelsea were just abysmal all round. They lost 3-0. There was really nothing you could ever take a note from that game at all. Apart of it was just a disgrace of a display. But yet, now, somehow with this game, it doesn't seem like it's fueling any confidence for the team moving forward. And it's just putting Chelsea in another perilous position in terms of the league table. Now, I don't even know where to start today. Now, I'm going to talk about the lineup. So the manager did make changes for this game. So he went ahead and put a three in midfield using Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo and Reece James in that position. Also decided to opt for putting Pedro Neto up front. And I will say throughout the first half, Chelsea did look good. There was like some intensity throughout the game. Chelsea were more direct. I mean, Pedro Neto was just running everywhere. I feel like that was like really the positive compliments you could take from that game in the first half. And it looked like Aston Villa did struggle to deal with Chelsea's intensity in that first half. So it did seem that Maresca got it right. And knowing the situation with the injuries, it was a very difficult thing for him to kind of work around with the squad with very limited amount of players available. But unfortunately, yet again, there is another injury. Trevor Chalobah got injured. It just adds to more of the woes for Chelsea. And yeah, and I think like that first half was good despite the injury to Trevor Chalobah. But then second half, Villa made their substitution. They brought Marcus Rashford on. And you could look at from that game and that perspective for Unai Emery to bring him on. It made an impact. He was more direct. He was really bringing the ball forward down the wing and causing Chelsea a lot of problems. And he got involved with the 2 goals that he assisted to Asensio. But I think the one that people are going to talk a lot about is Philip Jorgensen's mistake. I really feel like watching that horrible piece of goalkeeping from Jorgensen, that should be his last game for the club. No one's going to argue against me or anyone else that's saying that Jorgensen's better than Sanchez from watching that. That is one of the most basic errors that a goalkeeper shouldn't be making. Like, you should just palm it out or just at least have confidence to catch it, but he just lets the ball go through underneath his body into the net. And somehow people believe he's better than Sanchez. I don't know. Like, Chelsea have got a goalkeeping issue. I don't know why throughout the transfer window they didn't recall Kepa back from his loan spell at Bournemouth, because I honestly think he would have been a much better option than what we have right now. Because it seems like we don't have a good option for the 2 keepers right now. But anyways, that's the club's decision. It seems to have backfired massively, especially throughout the whole January transfer window with all the players going out on loan. It seems that Chelsea seem very thin as a squad and just somehow just really lackluster in so many areas of the pitch now. Now, I do feel like there is perspective that has to be given on the manager. Like, you can give him credit for one aspect that Maresca did change things up a little bit in the first half, like formation-wise, and it was working. But he was really not reactive to make any changes in the second half. I mean, I know he brought Sancho on to replace Nkunku, who yet again had such a disappointing display. I feel like Nkunku is definitely a player that needs to be offloaded from Chelsea right now because it's just not worked for him. And just, yeah, even like Cole Palmer, again, just didn't really work out. I mean, I feel like there has to be a point with Cole Palmer that people have to admit he's not a world-class player. And certainly he is a player that can be replaced. Like, he is not like the big game player or the big impact player that, you know, last season he was able to do with getting the goals and contributing a lot. Now, all of a sudden, his confidence has just went down the window. He had a one-on-one chance against Martinez and completely fluffs it. I think that's a testament to show that he is very low on confidence and he's just really lacking confidence up front right now. But I think it's just a testament maybe the manager has not really been able to find the right solution yet. And I understand there's injuries and everything that's been going on, but something's really wrong from the manager perspective and what goes up with the board. Like, who's making the decisions here? Like, clearly this is a thin squad. How on earth are you offloading so many players on loan? That's not helping the manager situation either. So I just feel like everything from, the management to the board is just a massive disconnect yet again. And it seems like it's been happening for every single manager that's been part of this new ownership. Now, I know it's very easy to blame Maresca. Like, I've blamed Maresca many times that he has to take responsibility for, because there are tactical things that need to be looked at. And certainly that game, tactically, there needs to be questions, because second half, Chelsea were just completely lackluster going forward, and it just seems like all the intensity dropped. So part of the responsibility does have to fall onto the manager, but you have to ask the question, why are we in this position? You had players like João Felix, who's out on loan. Obviously Mark Guiu is injured. Noni Madueke's injured. Nicholas Jackson's injured. Mudryk is banned, can't play. I just really think there's just so many questions that are just wrong right now. And it just doesn't seem like it's helping Chelsea get out of a position where they're struggling. They need some sort of new dynamic of play or to really just help climb up the league table. So it's just, everything just seems to be just completely hopeless now. But obviously the win for Aston Villa is going to help them push up for the European places now. But for Chelsea, I feel like the top four hopes is looking likely to be over, to be honest. I know there's still games of the season yet to come, but I really feel like we're not performing well at all. And compared to like the other teams that are fighting for those top four places, it seems like for them that they've shown more quality and they probably wanted more than us at this moment in time. But it kind of leaves questions where the manager's future will be in doubt. I personally feel like if Chelsea don't make the top four, I do think this brings more scrutiny onto the manager, thinking where he's going to be next season or not. So I really think this draws a lot of questions, and I think the club have to take responsibility for that. Allowing the manager to get into this position with a very thin squad, lots of injuries, and throughout the January transfer window, no new signings or new faces to come in. Why is this the position we're in? And you have to blame the board for that as well. So yeah, lots of questions to be answered here. I think the only thing you could really just say is just Aston Villa were probably the better team, arguably, in that second half. And they made it count in the second half to win the game. But yeah, Chelsea, one good half of football doesn't win a game. And yet again, throughout every game I've seen this season where Chelsea go a goal up, they just let the lead slip away. It seems to be too much of a trend now. And yeah, it's costing Chelsea now, big time. But yeah, let me know what you think of the game. I would say I hope you enjoyed the video, but certainly I didn't enjoy the performance of that game to make this video. But yeah, if you did enjoy the video, please like, comment, subscribe, dislike if you want to dislike. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, that's about it. See you later.